everyone. So there's a lot of reasons why you can get heel pain in the back that feels like Achilles tendon pain. You can have an Achilles tendon injury, and there's a few different types of those. You can also have some nerve-based pain back in that area. And then you can also have what they call a posterior ankle impingement. And there's a few different structures that can get impinged back here between the bones of the ankle. So there's a few different structures that can get impinged in these bones here. We have the talus and the calcaneus, and see that they come together to make a little joint here and on this side. And so back here on this back heel area and around here to the sides, there are nerves and tendons and other little structures inside the joint that will go through this area and can get impinged in the joint. The most common structure that I'm going to talk about that usually gets associated with posterior ankle impingement is when you have a flexor hallucis longus tendon impingement. So that is going to come to this toe is broken, by the way, this big toe. So it's going to go ahead and go to the big toe. So it's going to come around the back of the heel here, cross over and go to the big toe, where it's going to help point the big toe like this. And that tendon is going to kind of slide along this inner ankle, but it's going to start in the heel. So if it gets impinged right here as it passes through the bones, you'll often feel that when you are pointing your foot all the way. So if you have a lot of pain at the very end range or end of your range of motion of pointing like this, it's pretty common in people who do a lot of pointing all the way. So runners, dancers, soccer players, people like that. So for instance, if you were to jump up in the air and point your toes like a dancer probably would, you would kind of feel it after you've left the ground as you're going to the very end of that point. Or for runners, just as you're getting to the very end of the push-off phase. So especially if you're a little bit more of a forefoot or toe dominant runner and you're going to be getting to that end range a lot more, this would probably be something that you would see. And a lot of the therapy for this is going to be, some tendon and muscle-based therapy, but also kind of working on this joint here and making sure it's nice and mobile. One of the best ways to mobilize the joint is if this is your foot, you have a band or a person come up here on this bone and kind of press down on it, and you're just going to kind of move your ankle through. So it's going to look kind of like this, and you're just going to kind of bend and press through that range, and that'll help mobilize some of those joints in a way that might loosen it up. That is one thing to help, and then you want to also do some nice strength and conditioning and also figure out why it is that that structure got injured. Is it that you have weak calves? If you have weak calves, why is that? Are your hips kind of weak? You want to look up the chain too. So go ahead and make sure if you have back of the heel pain that you don't just assume that it's an Achilles tendon and move on with your day, because Achilles tendon rehab, if it's not working over time, it must not be an Achilles tendon, because there's some really good Achilles tendon protocols that work really well when it is an Achilles tendon, but if it isn't, it's not going to help you, and it could even make it worse. So go ahead and get this checked out if you have something that's stubborn heel pain that's not resolving. I hope you guys found this informative. If you did, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You'll find some other videos on some heel pain that might be helpful for you. And make sure to leave me a comment if you have any questions. Thank you.